whole. I don't know.
It's okay. Junk food, it's really not good for the body, as usual. Alcohol too, the same thing. It brings about kidney infections and the rest. I think it's a good advice. And light exercise. If you are not an expert, someone who does a vigorous exercise has to be someone who does a sport, who has to do that, who spend a lot of time in gym. But for someone who is always writing, researching on the road, to be involved in a vigorous exercise, I think it's better if you take it lightly, so that you stay stable.
I think here what it says to sports journalists. There are sports journalists too who, of course,
yes.
Okay,
now sport writers.
Yeah. How General Shaibu is redefining welfare and civil military cooperation in Lagos, another headline there, and also have understanding governance, leadership and legacy in Benue State. Those are headlines. Why education must shape character, not just minds. Another headline there. Now on 2027, what Bauchi will go for? If you're just joining us, of course, it's the program, the Global Review and Issues in the News here on Badegi Radio 90.1 FM. You are now free to watch us live on Facebook at Badegi Radio 90.1 MHZFM and YouTube at Badegi Radio 90.1 TV. Right now on our social media handles there. Now, I'll open the phone lines later for you to call in and of course drop your contributions. Now moving on with the headlines on the Blueprint newspaper this morning, dated 15th of December. Nigerians and eating what does not belong to them. That is another head. I don't know what does not belong to Nigerians. So what do you think not belong to Nigerians?
A lot. Money, food, especially money.
It depends on the kind of food.
Especially money. I think although it's not only Nigeria, it's all over the world. People see money, and even if it's not
yours, you just
go. But some countries are far away from that. You understand? Some are still growing up and seeing what doesn't belong to them as what they should not even touch.
Okay, they said here under that headline, it says there is whoever lives long will see wonders.
Sure.
There is a peculiar intimacy to theft in Nigeria. That's what's under that headline. So I think
that's why we are where we are today. That's why we are where we are today.
Alright, victory not accidental phenomenon, but hard work, Abuja pastor says there. It's a victory not an accidental thing. Hard work, of course it is. Yes. Now, on 2026 Osun governorship election at Adeleke in Telema, and then 8-month-old baby adult killed in deadly Ikorodu auto crash.
You see that the Adeleke's own Adeleke has defected to Accord Party.
Accord.
So he has been nominated as the flag bearer for Accord Party. And then suddenly, yesterday, another person also came out again and said he is the party nominee for governorship election.
Of the Accord Party.
Of the same Accord Party.
So there's a serious fracas.
Yeah, there is there.
Alright, presidency rejects EFCC weaponization claims. Hits opposition leaders. There it says the presidency has dismissed recent claims by opposition figures alleging threats to Nigeria's multi-party democracy and weaponization of anti-corruption agency.
Yeah, it's a serious issue. I think that's one of the topic of discussion in around the country for now.
Today,
because the opposition and some analysts are saying that the government is using EFCC as a political weapon to witch hunt opponents, especially the issue of Malami, former Attorney General of the Federation, who was arrested by EFCC for alleged corrupt acts, and then he was given bail after he was given bail on alleged corruption, and then he went home, and then he was rearrested again that he didn't fulfill the bail criteria, and the opposition started saying that because he was seen in a political gathering, that's why he was still rearrested.
Nigeria.
And the EFCC came and said no, they are not doing that. He didn't meet bail condition. But EFCC has been doing its job, but a lot of people have seen it as a witch hunt, as an instrument of the of any ruling government that to intimidate or threaten the opposition in the country. And this is what the opinion is about EFCC for now. And also it is seen as the present government using it to frustrate opponents and brings everybody into the ruling government, thereby squeezing the political landscape in the country.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, IG there. Now, Tinubu, others forge united front against incessant coup, insecurity in West Africa. Let me see details on that one. It says here, that under the headlines, says that heads of state and government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have agreed to forge a proactive and forceful united front to put an end to the spread of military coup, terrorism, and other forms of insecurity across the region. The decision was taken in Abuja on Sunday at the 68th ordinary session of the Authority of ECOWAS leaders, following a series of military takeovers in the Sahel, with the bloc shifting from reactive sanctions to preemptive military and diplomatic intervention.
It's West Africa has seen the endemic coup here and there. It's only happening mostly in West African countries, and ECOWAS had to meet, and they met. They talked about the reasons why frequent coup, which is not good for democracy, and they also talked about insecurity in the West Africa, especially with Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other bad guys in the West African countries. So as a result of that, they met and they talked about bringing a military force, a kind of military force from ECOWAS that will stand to fight against insecurity within West Africa because of this banditry, terrorism, and other acts of violence within the West African country, so that it doesn't spill from one country to another. And then at the end of the day, the whole of West Africa will be grappling with state of insecurity. So ECOWAS is coming with security force that will stand to fight against all these problems of insecurity. So that's what they agreed on. So we'll see when we don't know when they're going to form this security apparatus that will help to fight terrorism within West African countries.
Okay, thank you very much. And aside that, we've seen how many countries in the continent Africa that is being taken over by the military.
Yes.
We are praying more doesn't erupt again, because what is going on, our neighboring country here too recently, they were lucky. That's Benin Republic. If
you ask me why all this, because
is there a secret agenda with the military, in Africa, where, because I'm afraid I'm beginning to see some things, coming up, and
if you look at West African countries, you see that they have leaders. Most of these West African countries have leaders that have been there for 40 years, for 20 years. Your father governed. When he's leaving, the son comes in and also takes over. In a country where you have millions of people, it's not monarchical system of government. This is democracy. Understand? If it's democracy, then it's the power should shift around the country for different people to come. But when you sit on the throne and refuse to give space for others to come in and do it gradually, and by the time you are sitting on this power, you are not doing economically well. Poverty, hunger continue to rise in this country, and people begin to feel the pain, and talks begin to grow, and the military use that as an opportunity to come in. For example, there are countries where you have monarchical system of government. These people have been there for a long time. Believe me, it's a family thing. And there's no military coup, right? Because they are doing well.
Yeah.
They are helping their people. The economy is good. People are employed and secured. So everybody is feeling happy. But in a situation where someone comes in and stay in for 20, 30 years, and people are hungry, and they are not feeling secured, definitely you don't expect that place to just sit down. You don't expect the people of this country to sit down and not say anything. So if we are going to fight against coup in West African countries, democracy must thrive. We must allow democracy to work properly. Not when you start arresting your opponent and locking them up. Not when your opponent comes out to want to contest election, you arrest him, you lock him up for some trunk up charges for treason. Say, for example, you're my opponent, I now arrest you for treasonable offenses and I throw you up in the prison. How are you? Do you think people will be happy with that? So democracy, until we have enough space for everybody to participate without intimidation, without threats to opposition, then we can have a very good democracy, and then everybody will feel everybody will feel represented. But in the absence of all this, definitely military will also like to test what is there, and they're going to use this as an opportunity to test, also want to take the honeypot, because everybody want to touch there. But if you do well, everybody feel relaxed and so okay, everything is going fine. So let's make sure that we don't threaten the opposition. Let the opposition also have a free say. Let them also have a free participant, and let everybody comes in and participate and be represented, and then we can have a peaceful democracy. But when you want democracy, but you don't want democracy to fly freely, that's when you start seeing all these things. So West Africa must sit up and do the right thing.
Thank you very much, IG. And I want to add to what you have been saying. I think, for democracy to actually thrive in Nigeria, if there are credible and transparent elections, free and fair elections, of course, are the backbone of democracy.
Absolutely.
If we can eliminate vote buying, ballot snatching, and then electoral violence,
Yes.
I think that will help
These are
us.
some of the ingredients
Use
of
technology, transparently and then consistently.
Yeah.
And also, if we can actually prosecute electoral offenders regardless
Quickly.
of political affiliations, I
Yes.
think that will of course go a long way. And then if we can also fight corruption
Exactly.
seriously, I think even the military will not even think of taking over,
Because you have no reason,
any
no excuse.
country in Africa here. And the reason to why most of these African countries, from research and investigations, is because they feel that the people are not enjoying democracy
At all.
These people are not seeing the dividends of democracy. They are not feeling it, and that's why they feel, okay, let's take over, let's inculcate discipline into the nation. And then the issue of insecurity also that you talked about has also brought about the military taking over. Let's tell each other the truth. Nobody is telling the military to come take over.
No.
All right, Nigerians have a right to ask questions, and then if Nigerians could sit down, think about this before you vote or you elect anyone, you must make sure that the person knows the law of this country. Because in democracy, let me tell you, if you become a leader and you're given the mantle of leadership, you should know that people will criticize you. You cannot run away from criticism. And those who are going to be criticizing you are those who really want the best for you. There are areas that your protocols or your people or subordinates, those you have given a political appointment, might not tell you. They only want you to work on the areas that they feel is all right for them as an individual, not what the people feel. I think these are the places I think we have missed steps.
Missed a lot.
Again, if you look at it, there are people who don't really object to some of the things that maybe a governor says. Like, if the governor says, I want to do this. Now, I want to use Niger State as a case study. Let's be very honest with ourselves. I have evidence on this one. Before coming up with, bridges, reconstruction of all these infrastructures and all that, think about what the people want. How many cars do we have in Niger State? That's one. I'm trying to bring something up. What do they really want? How long has this road been? Is it expired? Is it high bridge or flyovers that they need? I'm using my state because, of course, I'm thinking about proximity, because these, of course, are the things that affect. Let's be very honest. People are complaining. They are not happy. if anyone goes to the governor of Niger State and say, oh, what you're doing is right, yeah, it's a good idea, but people are complaining. Why not finish one before you go to another one? Why not finish this one before you go to another one? Not, oh, let me just scatter everything and then
there's one
you
thing.
begin to make people feel that you're actually working. No, you don't do that. Contractors don't do that.
There is one thing in development communication that we learn. By the time, even at the federal level, sometimes you do test sampling to check people's opinion on a particular thing. If you feel the opinion favors what you want to do, you now go ahead. And if it's not favoring it, you draw it back. So this is what it should have been happening. You consult people. No man is an island. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you consult people. Is that what they really want in this state? If that's what they really want, you can do that with all energy. If they have alternative, that's fine. For example, this is 21st century, and I can't remember the last time I saw a tap water. Running in state capital. So that is not, it's like we are not in 21st century. If I'm not inside this studio right now with a smartphone, with all the gadgets in this studio, I would have think maybe we were in 1980s. That's what I'm saying. There's no water. A lot of people didn't sleep with electricity. There was no supply last night. So these are issues that government can look into. Niger State is generating more than 35% of electricity in the country. Yet people still sleep in the dark. And if there is no electricity supply in the state capital, even those with motorized borehole, where people go to get water or buy, or even water truck pushers, they don't get this water. People are looking for alternative. People are now drilling borehole for themselves. Some are even selling it. Then what is the function of the government? Where is the social amenity? This is number one priority. Water. People need water. People need electricity. If we can't provide this, then I don't know what we can do.
All right, let's move on with Blueprint quickly. NNPC Limited speak on successful containment of fire outbreak. And then Naira stands at 1,454 Naira to dollar in Forex market. And then inflation to decelerate on Dangote refinery, dropping prices analysts. And then tax reforms are set to simplify systems, stimulate economic growth, says Oyedele. And we also have Dan Kwambo hails chess players after podium finish in Zimbabwe. And then Chile to field new boys against Egypt Tuesday. Those are, of course, the headlines this morning on the Blueprint newspaper. And then quickly,
what happened?
Okay, Alhaji Shaibu Badegi just came into the studio right now, and of course,
what is good? Have you bath?
Baba,
you never bath.
I know about water no day.
You never wash your eyes.
No.
The Ruan Buta Masalachi the guy. No.
Yes, sir.
And you have not brushed your mouth.
Water no day, sir.
So go out, because I can see that Kait's army. Kait's army.
To Baba, there's no water.
What you said? Mikache?
There's no water.
Can't you collect the dew? Can't dew?
Dry season, Baba.
Dew.
Yes.
Emia, dew. In the dry season, there is a dew in the morning.
Yes.
If there's no water, you know, let me tell you one story. Oga John, somebody is a hunter in my village. That is around 1960, 1961, 62. And you know, towards the dry season, there are monkeys that used to disturb the corn.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Mr. Joe? I'm speaking to you. A monkey was disturbing the corn, so he said he must shoot a monkey. Then he went and climbed a tree. As he climbed a tree, he slept over in the farm. That is early morning that monkeys come into his farm. And then funny enough, he saw a monkey. Then the monkey collected dew, D-E-W, from the leaves of the corn and clean the face and then face the sun and raise the hands in prayers. Since that day, they stopped hunting monkeys. Since that day, he said people should not eat monkey meat. Since that day, he said monkeys are special species that must be protected because they too made of mode of worship. No, so I heard you all along on the road. I'm sure people are not whether you are. Can you move a bit? So you know the point is that I came to understand that the complaint of water no day. You know they for Kontagora, you know they for Bida, you know they for Suleja, you know they for Mina. And it was never so bad in the past 30, 40, 50 years. And then, despite the effort of Water Board, despite their little effort, which is not good enough, there is this vandalism of the water pipes. And then there is this scarcity of energy to pump the low lift and the high lift. You know, water is very heavy.
Yes.
And then those pumps are very big, giant impellers that are turning the water. Keep on turning it. Apaya, do you know? Have you visited the water board? Have you been
Many
there?
times.
But have you gone to the low lift and the high lift? Have you seen how those huge pipes are?
But that is why when they say they want to use solar to power the pumps in water, what I loved. I said, I don't know what engineer is giving that advice. If you see those
you
pumps.
see, the point here is that if we were supposed to advise, and if advice is supposed to be taken, and then there is that element of let's do it as a team, not Nami Getanga, maybe I'm the one that is elected. You know, this simplification of I'm the one, I and I. Even the Lord above say we.
Yes.
But if I and I, I'm not talking I and I of the Rastafari. Even that I and the I of the Rasta is we. Because I and I. It's like me and my father up here.
Okay.
I and I. It's we.
Me and you.
Do you understand me? And then, have you gone to Ethiopia? There are the first biblical churches that are in Ethiopia, even before the Church of Rome and the Anglican. The original Bible in Ethiopian language. Go to Ethiopia and study the Ethiopian language and study, because you have this what they call black Jews.
Yes.
Now
it is to say.
So why am I digressing? Am I digressing?
You are digressing in a very proper way, because Baba, so let me add to what you're trying to say. You know, there's something that is missing from the very first day of this administration. That's personalization of leadership.
You know,
you're talking about even God when he speaks in power.
There is something you don't understand. You see, developmental administration, developmental management, modernization, being modern, and then public administration, having a civil service, very good one, having a process of administration, supply and control and accountability, having processes of public procurement, having processes of accounting of the public expenditure. You understand what I mean? Having the accounting of public expenditure, and then also having, you know, when you budget, it's more or less like you are doing an advanced estimates.
Yes.
And then those estimates have to be backed by heads and subheads, and you allocate funds And as you go through the years, you are looking what you are allocating, you are looking at your income, and then you are beginning to see what are development targets. Because for your development targets, you are going to be measuring your income. You are going to be measuring your income, and then you are going to be allocating the what you have, and you are going to say, okay, the lines of charge, then capital expenditure, your overhead cost, your recurrent element that you have to be taking care of. Then you have to allow people to do that, not you, the chief executive. Do you understand?
Division.
But if you say you are going to do it on your own, the whole thing will scatter, because there are checks and balances.
Sure.
Even within the executive, because there is the auditorial audit. There are audits that audit the expenditure, and then there are accountants that follow the accounts. And then there are issuance of certificates of the jobs, and then there are the issue of what is been acquired, the store receiving vouchers, the store officers, and all this. You want to put all that together, then you have a government that have document of what it collected as expenditure.
You follow all the bureaucratic
there
processes.
is a bureaucratic process in public affairs, in public governance. But the moment you allow your sentimentality of those who age you on, that are hangers on, that say you say K, and then it goes into a blongata, and you have that misconception that you are an alpha and omega, you are the lord of the manor, until they say election has come. What are you going to show the people as the manifestation of the expenditure of their money that you have budgeted? For example, last year is 1.5 trillion. Why is the job of 1.5 trillion?
Serious.
Did you get up to that from either federal or from internal generated revenue, or did the investor brought any dollar into your account that makes you budget according to proposed investors' financial investment into your government? Or are you going to tell me that if you collect 5 billion, for example, to buy paddy rice from market for Lagos state government, is that part of your budget? No, doesn't have to do with that budget. And this year you say you are budgeting 1 trillion and 300 billion. What is your monthly IGR? And then if you cannot compare Niger State with Kano. Kano has 44 local governments. Now, if you assume that you are able to capture the local government money and refuse to give them money, and then they will just be there to be taking salaries and probably be running away from their offices because they have nothing to do for anybody. They themselves, they are not even taking care of themselves properly. And that's why those that have in the big cities are selling the market space. Even the parking lot is being sold for them to make something out of it before 3 years. They'll tell them to go home. Now, are you telling me that your budget of 1.3 or 1 trillion and 300 billion, is it along with local government funds?
It's not.
Even if you want to add up local government funds, where are you going to get that money? And one big question, one big thing that is worrying to many people is that the members you elected to go and represent you in the state assembly are not asking questions, because Baba, you cannot ask me to go and deliver something. You gave me, okay, I enter into business. Graciously, you want to help me. Okay, say, Abaya, take 1 million naira, go into market. After the end of the year, I'm supposed to give you a financial report. I did not give you a financial report. You now add up another 1 million to me. Then you ask, okay, where is the modern money? Where is the gains?
You see,
you did not ask about 2025
the problem,
budget.
The problem, you are a bushman.
For asking questions.
For telling me that, for trying to bring this analogy. Why you not sitting here? One day Ayabelo was telling the members of assembly to sit on the ground, and whatever Ododo comes with, they should swallow. Sink out.
Who can sing?
So what are you telling me?
They should follow who can sing.
In the house, how many of them can stand up and say, Kai, we not agree, bring the breakdown of your expenditure? Yeah.
How many of them? 25?
How many of them have the audacity?
27.
How many of them that have audacity and character to stand say make a cow? Then you lie to them now,
and people will follow you.
And because the people are gullible.
They are gullible followers.
Yes, the House of Assembly are aware of the percentage of execution of last year budget, but
No,
they just say the execution is this at this
Come,
place at this level.
let me tell you.
And that is it.
Let me tell you. Let me
No
tell you.
questions asked.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you take a budget to House of Assembly, you mean you just go and dump a paper on their table. You bazaka rakashi do nya go.
Dan gakiya.
Ana kai katin suna ne ba tare da goro ba.
To da wannan.
Ko katin okay, yes.
To idan baba.
Look, it is you are here when we send jet fighters to go into Republic of Benin and the Senate was not involved until the second day that they write them a letter and Okpabio is sitting down there telling the people that yes, His Excellency has written that and we have approved it. What about if that thing went wrong as the C-130 Hercules, the electronic warfare machine that was refitted to collect data from Burkinabe for the France, because what is coming in now was that the C-130 that went to Burkinabe was forced to land at Baba Dalaso by the air power of Burkina Faso. And they said they saw passive electronic warfare equipment on that 130 Hercules. Now what do you do? And the Burkinabe are saying that okay, if Nigeria are bringing a war to us on behalf of the France, come on,
Be our guest.
we are waiting for you. When you cannot even take out the literature. When Alawa Grumana Manta is taken over by Boko Haram. And the one, the reservation forest of Kamuku forest that stretched up to Gidigori, from Gidigori up to Alawa, up to Kuruming Giwa. Do you know Kuruming Giwa? And then stretch across to Kagarko. Up to Jos. It's a belt.
It's a belt. In fact, it's translated till Sambisa.
Now
It's a belt.
you have lost control over your outer space from Papri to Galla up to New Busa, Lumma. You have lost it.
You can do that swift operation to rescue a country, but you cannot be a swift operation to rescue 165 children that is remaining in captivity.
So, and then what do they? If you see the first batch as they are coming out, how they look. The last batch there, how will they look now?
The longer you stay there, the more problem.
Do you understand our problem? And on top of it, the colonel that is the ADC has been promoted to the brigadier without going to war college. The ADC to the president through the office of NSA. And they are already complaining. They are already mamas in the military.
So what are we reducing the country?
So when you look at it critically, is it water supply that you are going to cry about, or electricity that they take to Abuja in the night and bring it back in the morning?
And they say nobody should talk.
And then you should keep quiet.
Kawai biyayya.
Keep
Ka sa farin hula ka yi biyayya kawai.
Bin na gaba bin
Allah in ka ki kuma mu yaƙe ka.
A'a in ka ki mu karya ka.
To shi a duk shi din yayi.
Za mu karya.
Za mu karya ka wallahi za mu karya ka.
That is not democracy.
And that's why, as you have been explaining, you cannot have a democracy along with dictatorship. That's why, again, you cannot avoid military incursion into public system when the government itself that is in power is using rudimentary element of dictatorship to perpetuate itself in power by writing results of election that never takes place. You want me to carry somebody's load? Take Panadol for somebody's headache? And then when you are telling me 2027 APC, what will you show me in Niger State as a contribution of Tinubu's government to Niger State here?